Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, it's Friday afternoon, burning half a day of vacation. So what's on deck? Well, it's the last weekend of August. And let me just say, thank goodness. I am so tired of August. I think I've mentioned in past videos, I hate August in Texas. Why? It's 100 degrees every day. And, the humidity 70-80%. It's just absolutely miserable. We've actually had a very mild summer so far, knock on wood. Of course, the next 10 days looks pretty brutal, but going into September, hey, we'll take it. So anyway, so here we are. The weekend is here, and we're back at it. So I'm coming down today. The first task on the agenda is I've got to get the new Holland 5060 tractor running again. I've got a new fuel pump, and going to install that this afternoon. Hopefully later this afternoon I'm going to have the ability to sort some cattle. We always wean on Labor Day. I'm actually going to do it a week early this year, just from the standpoint I've got some stuff coming up here I need to handle next weekend. But yeah, so we're trying something new this weekend. We're actually going to sell our calves direct to in essence, a middleman, as opposed to going through the cattle auction. And a couple of reasons for this. Number one, the middleman is what I'm going to call him, for lack of a better word. He'll actually buy a group of calves from multiple ranchers in the area. He'll get a large number put together. Let's say he tries to accumulate 300 head or so. And he'll buy 500-pound calves, 600-pound calves, and he'll try to get them up to 750 or 800. And basically, he's trying to get paid on the 200 pounds of growth that he's going to have over X number of days. And then he'll move them directly to a feedlot somewhere like Kansas City or Oklahoma City or somewhere from there. And then they'll work their way through the system. So this works relatively well as opposed to selling through a middleman like a local livestock auction, because those guys are going to buy it, and they're basically doing the same thing. But when you sell through a local livestock commission or livestock sale barn, you're going to pay miscellaneous fees. You're going to pay all kinds of beef council fees. You're going to pay, commissions. You're going to pay, if you bring it the day before, you're going to have an overnight charge to cover feed and miscellaneous. So, it can add up pretty quickly. And if you sell 30 or 40 calves and you're paying $30 per head in miscellaneous fees, that's a lot. So by going direct to a middleman, you kind of avoid some of that. So this is our first year to try it. I'm basically going to sell half of my calves utilizing this approach. I'm going to hang on to a bunch of registered calves that I'll probably sell private treaty for bulls and also heifers going forward. So if anybody's looking for a bull or heifer later this year or early next spring, hey, give me a call. I have some really nice ones to talk to you about. So that's on deck, which I'm hoping we'll have that wrapped up by Saturday at lunch. And then at that point, guess what? We're back on the shredder. We're back on the new Holland 5060, utilizing the John Deere HX15 Batwing shredder, and we're back to trying to shred the pastures. So that's the plan. Hang with me. More to follow. Okay, guys. Well, I think we've got the job finished. So it's about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon now. So I got down here and I took the old filter off. It's just easier if you take this bracket off, disconnect the hoses, take the bracket off. Then you can get around to this side over here. And yeah, this is your inline fuel filter. You have to take that off, so we put a new one on. This right here is the actual pump itself. And down there, I don't know if you can see this, is a little lever that you actually push to prime the fuel from here into the pump. And then you come out of the pump over to this side. It comes in the top of the filter and goes out to the motor on that side. So one of the things you have to do is when you put the filter on, you got to make sure you fill the filter full of diesel. Then you come over here to that little pump lever, which is like right there. It's so hard to see, but right there. And you pump that little pump lever, and it makes the fuel come from here up to there. And once it comes out the motor side, you can then put the cap back on. So basically, we've purged the system to where there is diesel all the way to the top of that filter. So hopefully when we get ready to fire this thing up, it's not going to take a lot. We do have some starter fluid or ether to shoot in there to try to get this thing fired up a little bit better. Hopefully we can get it going. Here's what the old one looked like. So take a look. This was the fuel filter, the pre-fuel filter, and there was a little trash in there. A little disappointing, but you know, when you're out in the middle of a pasture working around, you just never know what's going to happen. So here is, this is the old fuel pump. Almost kind of like one you'd see on a small black Chevy or something, an old mechanical fuel pump. But we'll see. I think we're close to having this thing ready to fire up. We're going to give it another try here in a little while, and hopefully we'll have the New Holland back on the road. If so, we're going to get out of this relatively lucky. You know, it's like 26 bucks plus, you know, shipping or whatever. No, actually there was no shipping. It was Amazon Prime, so it was like 26 bucks for that. I think the pre-filters are like $6 or something, so 30 bucks or so to get it back going, if indeed this is the case. More to follow. Hey guys, Scott, Heritage Farms, Texas. Here we are Saturday morning. It's about 6:30. As you can tell, the sun is not even up yet, but hey, it's daylight. As far as I'm concerned, you can tell the work we did last weekend on the pecan orchard's looking pretty good. I'm happy with the way that looks. Getting ready for harvest time there. But let's talk a little bit about yesterday. We put the fuel pump on the New Holland Tractor, and unfortunately that did not solve our problem. So now it's above my mechanics grade, so what I'm going to do next is we're going to drag it out today, call my friends at the New Holland dealership, have them send a truck out, pick her up, and you know, sometimes you got to stay in your lane. I'm not a diesel mechanic. I can do the basics. I know what filters to change. I know how to change little things like alternators and stuff, but you know, I don't know if it's got air in the lines or what the issue is. We pumped everything out of the filter, made sure we had fuel through the filters, got the air out of that, but just couldn't get it to, it'll start, but it just won't run. So send it over to the pros, let them take a look at it. Besides, their labor is tax deductible, mine is not. Let's see. So then what's on deck? So this morning, between telephone 1 and telephone 2, we are sorting calves and weaning calves. This group we got up last night. Once again, we're trying to get them ready. We've got the middleman coming by today to pick them up. So the 4 over there in that pen, we are actually selling. The ones over here, these are replacement heifers. And also I think there's 3 or 4 bulls in there that I'm going to keep over to yearlings and then sell to individuals. So if anybody's looking for a registered Sim Angus bull, and when I say Simmental Angus, these bulls are mostly Angus with a small percentage of Simmental. But all right, man, I see Dale coming on the horizon over there with the with his trailer. Where's he at over there? Thought I saw him somewhere. Oh, wait a minute, there he is. Coming with the cattle trailer, so our Saturday is off to the races. More to follow. Hey guys, well, here it is. It's Saturday afternoon. We are at the rental property. We used to call this the bull yard, and over the last year or so we've been keeping heifers out here. But today we did some weaning, and we weaned this group of heifers. And you can see they're all walking around in different directions. They're in different states of mind. They're not very happy. Of course, we had 4 in here, and I added 10 more to the group, so there's a group of 14 in here at the moment. But oh, here's one that's, she's upset that she is away from her mom. There's one over there that's been bawling too. I don't know if you can see, but way against the fence line in the woods. So the good news is there's no houses around that can hear these guys complaining. Look who's with us today. We got Michelle, the CEO, CFO. We also have Kimber Cat, the GSP. Kimber, what are you doing? You riding shotgun? So here you go. So here comes, this is my wife's favorite calf right here. Good looking little heifer. Surprisingly, she was one of the smaller ones out of the group today. I think she weighed 499 or something like that at weaning. And most of these were in the 600-pound range at weaning. So we always try to wean on Labor Day. We're 1 week early this week. We got some commitments to do next weekend, so thought we'd get this done. But we're gonna give you a little drone footage of this little pasture, and maybe even get up high enough that we can see over the fence row to the open areas of where we were doing shredding last week. All right, more to follow. All right, guys. Hey, good morning. Sunday morning here. Just up doing a little light feeding this morning. Checking on the weaned bull calves. So these are the bull calves that I weaned. These are all registered Simmental Angus bulls. It's what I like to call my blue collar series of bulls. But don't know what I'm going to do with them. They keep a couple of them to sell down the road as yearlings. Who knows, may sit on 1 or 2 of them and sell as 18-month olds, really ready to go to work. But you can see, man, these are some good-looking bulls that come from top-line genetics. By far the best-looking set of calves I've raised in a long time, and I'm pretty pumped to have them. More to follow. We'll go down and check out the heifers in a little while. But hey, if you know anybody that needs a bull calf here in the next 6 months to a year, send them my way. Okay, well, we're back at the heifers, and the weaned heifers, trying to get them used to me actually coming over and bringing them feed and getting them accustomed to this. Really need a few more troughs in here, but I'm pretty happy with this group of girls. Pretty happy. You can see there is 4 in this group or whatever that is still missing their mama, and they are still running the fence rows and mooing, and they're not happy. So yeah, actually there's 5 over there that are out there crying. Look at this beautiful sunset in North Texas. It's a little bit on the cool side this morning. I say cool, it's probably 80 something degrees, but hey, we'll take it for the end of August. So glory be to God. I'm happy with this group of heifers. What a blessing it is. And we were trying to do drone footage yesterday, but we were having technical difficulties. The drone was not cooperating for some reason, much like my tractor and a lot of other things going on right now. But anyway, hey, it's all good in the big picture. So here's some of the cows at our Telephone 2 property, and just up the road around the corner is that where we rent this corner lot up here that's got the little red cabin that we used to call it the bull pen or heifer pen, but it's where we have the heifers weaned. But I'm sitting here and boy, you can still hear it occasionally. One of the calves or the heifers down the road will holler, and you'll hear one of these mamas holler back. So the weaning process is not fun for the ladies. You can actually hear over in the distance over there, there's one standing by the gate over there because the working pens are back down there. She's still looking for her mom. So sad process when the babies are taken away from their moms. But some of the moms are like, you know what? That thing's 500-600 pounds and sucking on me every day. Some of these cows were ready for those calves to be gone, and that's just the cycle of life. So now it turns around, and these ladies will have 5 or 6 months here to get ready for the next baby that will be here before you know it. I'm hoping everyone in this pasture is bred. Let me put it to you this way. Everybody in this pasture better be bred. That's how this business works. All right, guys, just thought I'd give you a little recap. Weaning weekend at Telephone 2. Hey, so it's Sunday morning. Today's gonna be a day of rest. I mean, we've just had a busy week, but I've got one little thing I've got to get tightened up here. Somehow or another, the cows came in here and started pushing on this, and I don't know if one of the hinges was loose. Actually, you can see that looks bent in and pushed a little. Not sure exactly what happened, but anyway, they came in here and they bent this gate up and got it whopper jawed. How's that for a East Texas term? Whopper jawed. And we're gonna actually get this straightened out, get this gate back up in the right position, and then we'll move on and we'll call it quits for a day. I mean, it's been a somewhat productive weekend weaning calves and everything, but wish we would have got the tractor running, but all in all, still a good weekend. More to follow. Okay, we got the fence swinging again. So I don't know exactly what happened there, but the things that happens mysteriously on a farm. Anyway, it wasn't too bad. Just had to loosen the hinges on the bottom, loosen the hinges on the top, get everything straightened up, retighten it, and we should be good to go. And you notice you always want the bottom one holds the weight, the top one holds the gate on. Top one should always be pointing down. That keeps anybody from just coming in here and raising up and getting the gate off. But this is an internal fence. There you go. Hey, hope you guys have a great week. Hit the thumbs up, leave us a comment, and as always, glory be to God.